Welcome to Core Program. In this video, we discuss about Blazor hosting models. As we discussed in our previous video, Blazor hosting model are divided into two parts. One is Blazor Server and second one is Blazor WebAssembly. This Blazor Server app template to create a Blazor application with the server hosting model and Blazor WebAssembly template to create a Blazor application with client hosting model. Let's first discuss with the Blazor Server in details. In Blazor hosting model, the application is executed on the server. Between the client browser and the server, a signaler connection is established. For example, when an event occurs on the client browser, the information about the event is sent to the server over the signaler communication. The server handles the event, and for the generated HTML, a difference is calculated. The entire HTML is not sent again to the client. It's only the difference that is sent to the client over the signaler connection. The browser then updates the UI. Since only the difference is applied to the update UI, the application feels faster and more responsive to the user. As you know, every system has gone through some pros and cons. Since the Blazor hosting model also have gone through some pros and cons, let's discuss about it. The upload much faster as the download size is significantly smaller than the Blazor WebAssembly app. Since the app runs on the server, it can take full advantages of the server capabilities, including use of any .NET Core compatible APIs. All the client needs to use the app is a browser. Even browsers that don't support WebAssembly can be used. It's more secure because the app's .NET or C code is not served to the clients. The cons of Blazor server hosting model is a full-blown ASP.NET Core server is required to host the application. Serverless deployment scenarios such as serving the off from CDN are not possible. An active connection to the server is always required. This means there is a need to keep the server up and running 24/7. If the server is down, then the application stops working. As every user interaction involves a round trip to the server, a higher latency usually exists when compared with Blazor WebAssembly hosting. Scalability can be challenging, especially for the apps that have many users, as a server must manage multiple client connections and handle client state. However, we can overcome the scalability issue by using the Azure Signaler service with the Blazor Server app. This service allows a Blazor Server app to scale the really well by supporting a large number of concurrent Signaler connections. Then let's discuss the Blazor WebAssembly hosting model. With this hosting model, the application runs directly on the browser of WebAssembly. So everything the application needs, that is compiled the application, its dependencies and the .NET runtime are downloaded to the client browser from the server. A Blazor WebAssembly app can run entirely on the client without a connection to the server, or we can optionally configure it to interact with the server using Web API calls or Signaler. Then let's discuss the pros of Blazor WebAssembly hosting. Active server connection is not required. That means a Blazor WebAssembly app can run entirely on the client machine. So after the application is downloaded, a connection on the server is not required. This means there is no need for your server to be off and running 24/7. Work is offloaded from the server to the client. It is the client resources and the capabilities that are being used. We do not need a full-blown of ASP.NET Core web server to host the application. We just need a server somewhere that can deliver the application to the client browser. This means we can host the application on our own server on the internet somewhere, maybe in the cloud, on Azure, as a static website, or even on a CDN. Cons of Blazor WebAssembly hosting. The very first request usually takes longer as the enter app. Its dependencies and the .NET runtime must be downloaded to the client browser. Keep in mind, it's only the first request that takes longer than usual. If that same client visits the application later, it usually starts fast because the browser catches the files. Since the app runs entirely on the client browser, it is restricted to the capabilities of the browser. Depending on the nature of the application, capable client hardware and software is required. From software standpoint, for example, at least a browser with WebAssembly support is required. The Blazor WebAssembly is not available right now in the Visual Studio. It is on the preview. You can add the package through the command prompt. The link is shared in the description box. You can go through that. Let's flip to Visual Studio and we'll see how to create the Blazor web server and Blazor WebAssembly. You can see that I have already created the sample application of the Blazor server and Blazor WebAssembly. If you're new to Blazor, then let's see how to create a Blazor server and Blazor WebAssembly app. Create new project and type here Blazor. You can see that the Blazor app template is here. Click next. Here you can set the location and project name according to your choice. Then click create. Here you can see that the Blazor Server app and Blazor WebAssembly app both are present. If you want to create the Blazor Server app, then just select it and click create. Suppose you want to create a Blazor WebAssembly, then add new project, Blazor app, next create, then Blazor WebAssembly, then hit create. Let's run the Blazor Server application here. The Blazor Server is provided the default template. Suppose you move to the counter, when you hit enter, you can see that the current count is increased and the page data is pull the information. If you want to run the application of Blazor WebAssembly, then just right click on that and set as startup project, then run the application. This is the same application like Blazor Server, but internally some logic is changed there. In our upcoming videos, we go through details about that. Also, we can configure more than one project as startup project in Visual Studio. To do this, right click on the solution, then click set startup projects. You click on multiple startup projects, and here you can set that start, then click OK. Right, suppose I run the application. You can see that both the application is run at a time, but you have noticed that the Blazor WebAssembly is loaded faster than the Blazor Web Server. This is because the Blazor WebAssembly is run on client browser and all the information are stored in the clients. So using cache, it loaded faster. And let's clear all browsing data about the last 1 hour. Close the application, run it again. Now you can see that the Blazor Server is loaded faster than Blazor WebAssembly. As I said, the Blazor WebAssembly is in preview, so you need to install the package through the command prompt. So after installing this command, the Blazor WebAssembly is available on the Visual Studio. To check the SDKs, you just type that .net list -SDKs. Hit enter. You can see that all the SDKs are present here. So according to your version, you can install the WebAssembly. That's it in the video. On the next video, we are going to discuss the Blazor Web Server folder structure. For more details, please go through the core program article. The link is shared in the description box. Do like and subscribe for more upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.